Wolfman is out in theaters, latest film from Lee Whannell, who previously made Upgrade and The Invisible Man. This stars Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner. It's a reimagining of a classic Universal creature horror film. Abbott and Garner play a married couple with a young daughter living not so happily in New York. When Abbott gets news that his father was officially declared dead by the state of Oregon after presumably being missing out there in the woods for a long time, he decides to take his family to his old farm in the middle of nowhere and spend some time there. But before they can even reach the farm, they have an encounter with a strange animal creature in the woods, and things very quickly spiral out of control. So I thought that this was a film with some very interesting ideas and cool elements, but also some glaring flaws that at the end of the day prevent it from being truly good. I want to start with the good stuff though. I really enjoyed Christopher Abbott's performance. I think it's committed, and also the practical effects and makeup used to gradually transform him into the new Wolfman. I thought that's amazing. I know that not everyone on the internet was sold on the design, which is surprisingly hairless, but I found it unique and cool. I think it's a good example of body horror, and also the wolf vision scenes, so to speak, when the camera sort of rotates around the scene to shift perspective and show what he's experiencing, changing the sound and the visuals and making speech incomprehensible. I thought that was fantastic. I think I've never seen that before, and to learn it was done practically in camera with the light setup. That's even more impressive. I also liked that the movie doesn't really waste too much time before ramping things up, and it has a good atmosphere of on the one hand, quick pace, but also isolation and being left truly on your own. Now, the thing that I hated the most was Julia Garner. I admit I haven't yet seen her in anything impressive. I've heard good things about Ozark, haven't watched that, but here she's like a black hole that sucks out the energy from the movie. I think specifically a person in this particular situation should have been reacting much more strongly to what's going on and should have been more clearly on edge. Whereas aside from maybe two scenes at the end, she feels sort of detached and completely emotionless and cold, and not really affected by the fact that her husband is turning into a Wolfman. And she just does nothing for me, and it really took me out of the film. It felt like she was bored making this. And it also doesn't help that her character is kind of unlikable. And this also brings me to my sort of main point about the film as a whole, which is its subtext. I think if you change one simple thing, this could have been an amazing movie about how bad parental patterns are passed down through the generations, how things like anger issues are difficult to shake off, how being a monster can be sort of hereditary. You already have the setup of the flashback with Abbott's sort of military nut father. You already have the line about sickness being passed from dad to son. The only thing you need to do is switch the parents' relationship with the daughter, have the mother be warm and in touch, and the father be disconnected and cold, and then just play that up. As it is, I think the movie has a problem where Abbott is set up to be the main likable character, and he's the one turning, so you're left with this unlikable, charisma-less Julia Garner, and that kind of sucks out the engagement out of the film. Now, I will say, I've read what the filmmakers went for is a different type of subtext. They wanted a different message and wanted the movie to be about isolation of a sickness that makes you lose control of your body and mind, that makes you experience the progressing disconnect with your loved ones and their disconnect with you. And having thought about it some more, yes, the movie does explore it that way, and it's not bad per se, but I would still say that the cycle of issues angle would have been far more interesting for me, and perhaps would have made it easier to also connect to the film on an emotional level. As it is, it's fine, I think. It's not great, certainly, but the elements that are good are too good to straight up cross out this movie and say it's awful. I think if you're a horror fan, it is worth checking out of curiosity, but it certainly won't be a classic.